Welcome back to this episode about logical operators. As the name implies, logical operators allows us to assert the equality of the statement. As you can see, we have 6 logical operators. I'll be showing them right now with some examples. What we want to do is to combine multiple statements next to each other so we can check for more than one thing. So what we did in our previous video about comparison operators was just one statement. So let me give you a reminder. We created an if statement, and in the parentheses we checked if variable x was equal to variable y. Of course, we need to create the variables, so let's say that variable x is equal to 5, variable y is equal to 10. Excuse me. If this was true, we wanted to echo out true. Else, we want to echo out false. What we want to do now with logical operators is to check for two statements. This can be done with the keyword AND. So right after our first set of comparison operators, we want to add the keyword AND and follow it with 1 is equal to 1. Let's save it. Refresh the browser and you can see that the output is false. And why? Because AND means what's on the left hand side and the right hand side needs to be true. And in our case, x is not equal to y, but 1 is equal to 1. So if we change variable x to 10 and we refresh the browser, you can see that the output is true. We could replace the keyword AND with 2 ampersands, which is also equal to AND. You will be seeing the 2 ampersands way more often than the keyword. So let's change variable x to 5 and start over again. Let's refresh the browser and the output is false. Let's replace it to 10 and the output is true. As you can see, I'm only using integers right now, but you could also use strings in the parentheses in the if statement. So let's replace the two 1 values with a string. Let's say hi. Hi needs to be equal to hi. And this is true. But if we add an extra I, let's save it, refresh it, it's false. But I'll be using integers because it's easier to explain. We could also see if one of the two statements is true, or both. This can be done with the OR keyword. So let's replace the 2 ampersands with OR. Let's change variable x to 5, let's save it, refresh the browser, and it's still true because 1 is actually equal to 1, which makes pretty much sense. But what if we say that variable 1 is equal to 2, let's save it, the output will be false because they're both false. And if we change them both to true, so x to 10, you can see that the output is still true because they are both true. And just like the AND operator, the OR operator can be replaced with 2 vertical bars. Let's save it, refresh the browser and the output is still true. Let's change 1 to 2. It's still true. And let's change variable x to 5. Now it's false because they're both false. Another comparison operator that we can use is the XOR operator. This literally means exclusive OR. It will check 2 conditions and return true if either one of the conditions are true, but if both of the conditions are true, the return value will be false. So let's test it out. Let's replace the 2 vertical bars with XOR, and right now 5 is not equal to 10 and 1 is not equal to 2. So right now the output will be false. If we set x equal to 10 and we set 1 equal to 1, and we refresh the browser, the output will be false because they're both true and that doesn't work. So let's say that we want to see if 1 is equal to 2. Let's refresh it and this is true because only the left hand side of the operator is true. The last logical operator that we have is the exclamation mark. The exclamation mark needs to be put right in front of the first variable. And this basically means that it is true if variable x is not true. Like I said in one of my previous videos, 1 is equal to true and 0 is equal to false. So let's give variable x a value of 0, which is equal to false. Let's replace the XOR with two ampersands, and let's replace 1 equal to 2 to 1 equal to 1. Let's save it, refresh the browser, and you can see that the output is true, because x right now is false, and the exclamation mark will change it to true. So let's remove the exclamation mark, save it, refresh the browser, and the output is false. And if we set variable x to 1 and we put an exclamation mark in front of it, let's save it, refresh it, and the output is false. Thank you for watching this episode, and I will be seeing you in the next one.